control system of the body. To use cybernetic concepts to analyze the functional regulation in human body, the human body has thousands of control systems in it. The most intricate of these are genetic control systems that operate in all cells to help control intracellular functions as well as extracellular function. Many other control systems operate within the organ to control functions of the individual parts of the organs. Others operate throughout the entire body to control the interrelations between the organs. For instance, the respiratory system, operating in association with the nervous system, regulates the concentration of carbon dioxide in the extracellular fluid. The liver and the pancreas regulates the concentration of the glucose in the extracellular fluid, and the kidneys regulates concentrations of the hydrogen, sodium, potassium, phosphate, and other ions in the extracellular fluid. Non-automatic control system belongs open-loop system. Control system does not affect the activities of control system. For instance, the price reaction. Feedback control. Usually, a constancy of physiological variable requires feedback mechanisms that feeds the output information back to the control system so as to modify the nature of the control. Most control systems of the body act by negative feedback, which can best be explained by reviewing some of the homeostatic control systems mentioned previously. In the regulation of the carbon dioxide concentration, a high concentration of carbon dioxide in the extracellular fluid increases pulmonary ventilation. This in turn decreases the extracellular fluid carbon dioxide concentration because the lungs expel greater amount of carbon dioxide from the body. In other words, the high concentration of carbon dioxide initiates events that decrease the concentration towards normal, which is negative to the initiating stimulus. Conversely, if the carbon dioxide concentration falls too low, this causes feedback to increase the concentration. This response also is negative to the initial stimulus. In arterial pressure regulating mechanisms, a high pressure causes a series of reactions that promotes the lowered pressure, or a low pressure causes a series of reactions that promote an elevated pressure. In both instances, these effects are negative with respect to the initiating stimulus. Therefore, in general, in some factor becomes excessive or deficient, a control system initiates negative feedback, which consists of a series of changes that return the factor towards the certain mean value, thus maintaining homeostasis. Signals always produce an effect opposite to that produced by the initiating stimulus. This is the most common feedback system in the body. For example, the arterial pressure regulating system mechanisms. A sudden increase of the body pressure in the arterial system would cause, through feedback mechanisms, a decrease in heart rate and a dilation of the blood vessels, resulting in a drop of blood pressure, so that a constancy of blood pressure can be maintained. There is a set point in many negative feedback regulation. Any deviation from this set point would cause drastic change. For example, a body temperature above the set point would cause sweating, and a body temperature below the set point would cause shivering. All the temperature control mechanisms continuously attempt to bring the body temperature back to this set point level whenever it deviates in either direction. Resetting of the set point. The set point, some variable regulated by the homeostatic control system, can be reset. That is, physiologically raised or lowered, such as the body temperature, is fever, or during recovery. In fever induced by bacterial infection, as a result of action of pyrogen, the set point shifts upward, leading to the response to the heat production as chill and shivering before the beginning of the fever. The heat loss reaction does not occur until the body temperature has gone up about 39 Celsius degrees. When the infection is killed with the pyrogen removed, the set point goes down, accompanied by heat loss reaction as profuse sweating. Positive feedback is in contrast to negative feedback, which intensified the activity of the control system. We only have 3 positive feedback in physiological condition. For instance, urination. Starting of the urination results in a continuously and even stronger contraction of the urinary bladder to ensure the complicated emptying of urine. The second one is childbirth. The next one is blood coagulation. Positive feedback often happens in pathological conditions, results in vicious circle cause serious damage to the organisms. In some instances, the body uses positive feedback to its advantage. Childbirth is another instance in which positive feedback plays a valuable role. When uterine contractions become strong enough to baby's head to begin pushing through the cervix, stretch of the cervix sends signals through the urinary muscle back to the body of the uterus, causing even more powerful contractions. Thus, the uterine contractions stretch the cervix, and the cervical stretch causes stronger contractions. When these processes become powerful enough, the baby is born. If it is not powerful enough, the contractions usually die out, and a few days pass before they begin again. The feed-forward regulation anticipates changes in regulated variables, improve the speed of the body homeostatic responses, and minimize the fluctuations in the level of the variable being regulated. That is, it reduces the amount of deviation from the set point. The purpose of this chapter has been to point out, first, the overall organizations of the body, and second, the means by which the different parts of the body operate in harmony. To summarize, the body is actually a social order of about 100 trillion cells organized into different functional structures, contributes its share to the maintenance of the homeostatic conditions in the extracellular fluid, which is called the internal environment. As long as normal conditions are maintained in this internal environment, the cells of the body continue to live and function properly. Each cell benefits from homeostasis, and in turn, each cell contributes its share toward the maintenance of homeostasis. This reciprocal interplay provides continuous automaticity of the body until one or more functional systems lose their ability to contribute their share of function. When this happens, all the cells of the body suffer. Extreme dysfunction leads to death. Moderate dysfunction leads to sickness. That's all for today's. Thank you.